Hello guys, welcome back to the Media Nights. My name is Ari.
And I'm Denise.
And today we're going to be watching The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5. Very thankful that this last week actually went by extremely fast for us. I mean, we've been recording a lot. We got some really fun stuff for you guys during May. We've recorded some bangers. Cannot wait to share them. But yeah, excited for this episode, man. In the last episode, we got Isaac introduced and I mean, Jeffrey Wright. You can never go wrong with Jeffrey Wright.
That's
man
true.
Always brings in such a great performance, and he was absolutely chilling to watch. His performance was eerie, to say the least.
Yeah, and it was such a great way for us to also know a little bit more about his character that we didn't really get to explore in the games. You know, this episode I think was great. It was, again, like a nice little speed bump to really get things going once again, and I can't wait to see how, you know, they're gonna handle the rest of the story that we're anticipating. You know, so far so good. Everyone's been killing it, so yeah, dude, let's do it.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you guys want to catch the full-length reaction alongside us with your own copy, that's going to be available on our Patreon. We hope that you guys enjoy, and as always, we'll catch you guys after the show. Ooh.
Oh, that's the lady that greeted Isaac last episode.
WLF. Oh boy. What's going on here, huh? That's some pretty heavy reinforcement. Damn.
This a hospital.
Your soldiers are loyal to you. I think they're worried we're gonna execute you.
If I was getting executed, Isaac would have come himself.
There's a shooting near the borderline between us and the Scars. Treaty might be broken. He's dealing with that now. If it's war again, we're gonna need all the soldiers we have, so he's wondering why you apparently killed some of your own men.
Oh, damn.
Leon.
Leon.
What the hell happened?
My unit is responsible for
Securing the hospital. I know your orders. I gave them the lease. What happened?
We cleared the ground floor up to the 6th. A few scattered infected here and there, nothing we couldn't handle.
Okay.
We were expecting the worst, the kind of environment they like. Plus the old timers said down there was where they brought the first cordyceps patients in 03. These stairwells here and here caved in.
Oh, so there was no way to go down.
The only way in or out of the basement is here, this stairwell.
Only one access point.
The whole floor was empty, not even rats. So today, B2, hoping for more of the same, I sent another squad down, and I put Leon in charge, because he's my best.
Damn. And what went wrong? Something must have went wrong.
There's cordyceps on the walls, the floor. Chances are they'll find infected next, but that's what they were down there for, so I told him to proceed. 5 minutes later, he radios again. But this time, he was struggling to breathe. He could hardly talk.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I thought maybe he had been bit.
No.
I said, Leon, were you bit? He said it's in the air.
It's in the air. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Seal us in.
That was it.
I knew it wasn't in the vents where we would have all been infected weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And we locked the only door to B2, and we locked the only door to B1.
Yeah.
And we did what
Contain it.
Leon said. We sealed them in.
Jesus Christ.
They had to. It was the right call for the survival of the rest
Yeah.
of them.
Nothing else has gotten out. No one else has gotten sick. Okay.
Dude, it's evolving.
Hospital's a resource we can't afford to lose.
Right. It's a hospital, dude.
As far as I'm concerned, Sergeant Park, you resolved the situation permanently and heroically. We owe you a debt.
Is she still getting executed or no?
I don't think so.
Thank goodness.
I'm sorry about your son.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow. Damn, dude, the dialogue. That was a great piece of information to
Bro.
withhold. That is sad. Puts into perspective the kind of world they live in, huh?
Yeah. Where these choices are like a day-to-day thing at this point. Or at least something that you have to anticipate and be ready for.
How terrifying is that, huh? Like they're used to now, you know, having the threat of being bitten and being infected, and now something has changed. Where the only thing you hear from the other side is it's in the air.
So
what does that mean?
We're addressing it, right? At this point.
Well, I'm not going to go full into details just in case they're going to explain it.
Okay.
But from the other side, what the hell does that mean? Like, I'd be terrified.
Right, because the thing is, like, you thought you knew everything that you need to know about this virus. It's been like 30 plus years at this point, right? And you still find out that shit is getting worse. Or it's changing. It's evolving, like you said.
It's not good news, that's for sure. Oh, theater. Seattle. Day 2?
Day two.
All right. Yeah, they're still listening in, huh? Dude, I love this Dina.
I know.
She's awesome.
I love that they... Oh, there's her bun! Yay! I love that they really leaned into her intelligence, right? And how resourceful she is. Oh. Oh!
Oh, good. We have a big ass generator down there. Natural gas, baby.
Mm-hmm. Cute little reference.
Getting there. You'll find a safe way to get us to the hospital, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is no safe way. There's the least dangerous way.
Right.
No. Why? Because I'm stupid?
That's not the word I would use.
Really? What word, then?
Impulsive.
Non-school oriented. I'm triangulating. Do you know how that works?
Yes. With triangles.
Duh.
Whoa!
Sharing other troop movements and then triangulate back to their bases. I mean, if I had a protractor, it would be a lot more accurate.
Oh, I actually brought a protractor.
You did?
No.
Oh my god, Ellie!
I'm gonna leave you alone now and go and explore the rest of this place because you're smart as fuck and you're figuring it out.
Ellie.
Yes?
Cute. Also, Ellie's outfit giving me some hope.
There it is, the theater. Looks like a live band was about to play, huh? When things went down.
Imagine she gets to see something like this for the first time.
No. Yeah, she's got to play a little bit. A little bit
Yeah,
more.
just a little bit. I love how reminiscent this is of the trailer.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow. That song.
Can't finish it.
Figure it out?
I think so, yeah.
Good.
Oh, she's locked in again, huh?
They run a line of patrols north and south. They're watching that entire area. There's a gap between here and here.
Okay.
What is that long-ass building? Maybe it's a warehouse or something.
It's a big fucking something for them just to ignore. Why aren't they patrolling it?
Good point.
Infected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hospital's maybe a quarter mile from there. Nora should be on the first floor, far end of the north wing.
Wait, how the fuck do you know that?
They never shut up. I hear everything.
Wow.
Wow.
They're just broadcasting their positions.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that. You know those people they're fighting, the Scars?
Yeah, they have no tech, huh?
Right. There you go.
You ever hear of Amish people?
Amish people? No.
Well, they were around back in 03. Maybe the Scars are like that. No electricity or technology because
Go Dina.
these motherfuckers talk on the radio like they know nobody's listening.
That's funny.
They're overconfident. It gives us an edge.
It
Exactly.
does, but what we're doing is reckless, so kind of a wash.
Right.
It's just two of you, man.
Yeah.
Let's go be reckless.
I am scared. What are they going to find in that building? It's got to be bad for the WLF to be like, you know what? We'll let that one be. We don't have to patrol it.
Got to keep it contained, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to go explore all the way with some things. I love the shift in Bella's expression, though.
Are you sure this way is safe?
You don't trust me?
I trust you. I don't trust Seattle.
Right.
What are you going to name it?
Oh, if it's a girl, Ellie. If it's a boy, Elijah.
No.
Really?
Oh, that's
No.
cute. Oh,
What the fuck?
Jesus. Oh, those are Seraphites. Yeah. Feel this, bitch. Jesus.
Whoa. Clearly a lot of hate towards their beliefs there.
Yeah. There Dina goes again.
I shouldn't have come. I shouldn't have dragged you here. You're having a fucking baby. What am I doing? I'll take you back. You don't need to do this with me. Oh, I'm so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's that realization, right? Like, You guys are in danger.
You know, you never asked me about the first person I killed.
Huh?
Damn, Dina.
When I was little, we lived in a cabin in a forest north of Santa Fe, and there were scattered families around. But mostly it was just us alone. And I would get so bored cooped up with my mom and sister, I would just beg them, just let me play outside. But my mom was scared. She wouldn't let me go outside alone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, you already know how this story ends because I don't live in a cabin north of Santa Fe anymore, and I don't have a mom or sister anymore.
Oh, no.
How do you think this one goes?
I don't know. Raiders?
Just one?
Just one raider.
They were dead. He was gone.
He was still there. I heard them screaming, and I ran back with my gun out, but I was too slow because I was fucking 8. And when he heard me, he turned around, and he looked really startled. And when I shot him, he looked more startled.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Whatever reason Joel gave those people to do what they did, he didn't deserve that. What if my mom and sister were beaten to death in front of me? What if that motherfucker made me watch as he did it?
She knows exactly what it feels
Would
like.
it make a difference if my family had hurt his people first? No. If he had gotten away, I promise you, I would have hunted him down forever.
Wow. That's a great way to establish connection amongst them,
Yeah.
to explain why she would go so far with Ellie.
And she understands Ellie.
I'll go back if you want, and I'll keep going if you want. There's no right answer. If I die, it's on me. It won't be your fault. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, she can't be the one responsible. She wants to be here.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Damn.
At least Dina tried to, absolve Ellie if something were to happen to her. But, man. Feels wrong having Dina here.
Do you see anything? No, let's go.
Oh boy. You gotta be careful with those searchlights.
Cover me.
Okay.
It's like that sequence of, when they were breaking out of Fedra all over again.
Nice.
Dude.
Dude, so much noise.
Little too loud. Imagine the terror every time you go into a building, right? The not knowing what could be in there.
So interesting because buildings usually are where you seek sanctuary, right?
There are 2 more positives. The searchlights are up high to scan the outside, which means there'll be no line of sight to the inside.
Good. What's the other positive?
That door's open, and nothing's come out to kill us.
Good.
Yep. Excellent.
I'm gonna take a peek.
Yeah, you should do that because you're the one who can't get infected.
She's got you there.
Yeah, let her use her talent.
How does it look?
Haunted but empty.
Oh, just like us. There's no fucking way this entire place is empty. But simple logic, it's not gonna be a horde, right? We're not underground, and the wolves are right next door with their vehicles and lights.
Yeah, they would have made some kind of noise.
We can handle that. We've done it like a million times.
We'll be okay.
But shooting has to be a last resort.
Yeah.
Of course.
Ellie,
What?
if it gets bad and we have to make a choice between shooting or running, we run.
Last resort. I got it.
I like how they're setting up the stakes here.
Yeah, no matter what happens, I'm just gonna start firing.
Literally every single time. You're a little crazy, and that's exciting. That's one of the reasons I love you. But I do want to make it out of here.
You love me?
Oh.
So tell me again, what's the plan?
Knives or run?
Okay, crazy.
Oh dear. The fact that they're not going to be able to use their firearms. I like that though.
Yeah.
It sets up the mood. Imagine the horror, man.
It also really highlights the raised vulnerability, right? Because you don't have something as powerful as a gun to rely on.
So far, so good.
We would have heard clickers by now, no?
Yeah, we should have heard something by now.
Oh, wait.
Come on, Dina, use your listening mode.
No.
But she feels like something's not right, huh?
So this way then?
Yeah.
I can't help but look behind them.
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Right. It's almost too quiet, right?
You just know some shit is gonna go down.
Be careful. Okay.
Whoa.
What the hell is that?
Oh,
is that a limb?
That was a, yeah, that was something for sure.
Uh-huh.
Dina.
Oh,
Oh.
he got torn apart.
Holy shit.
Clean, too. Oh, no!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a stalker.
Yeah.
Like the one that stalked me at the supermarket.
But you killed that one, so we can kill this one too, right?
Yes, I killed it. Not before it got me.
Yeah.
Fucking bit you.
What was I supposed to tell you? You would have...
Oh my God.
It's gonna be fast and it's gonna be sneaky. Now that fucker's gonna try to flank us, so I say we flank it first.
Smart.
Whichever one it follows, the other one comes up and takes it out from behind.
Okay.
Plan?
Plan.
Yeah, but that is still extremely risky because if Dina gets bitten, that's it.
Yeah, and if there's more than one stalker.
What then? I mean, it knows you guys are here.
Yeah.
It's just playing. Oh,
shit.
there's 2 of them.
No, it's 3. I saw another one.
If we run, they're gonna chase, so we have to go slow.
Oh,
You're kidding
shit.
me.
What?
You're kidding me.
Oh, my God.
What the f do you do?
Oh, they are surrounded.
This is not a no-gun situation.
You're gonna run in there, secure the gate, secure however you can, and stay in there. I can get bit a lot. You can't. Do as I say. Go!
Go, Dina,
Oh,
go.
man. Here we go. Yeah. Get the hell out.
Shit.
She's making all
yeah.
that noise already.
Oh, come on, go, 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 go. All right, good.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Whew.
God.
Nice.
Oh! Good job, good job.
Yeah. Gonna have to use those guns.
Please be careful. Dude, they're fast,
Yeah.
man. Fuck. Oh, shit.
Get him, get him, get him. She's out of ammo. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
What the hell are they gonna do? Oh.
Who the fuck is this?
Well, someone came to the rescue.
Wait.
Who the hell is this? Jesse!
Oh, my God.
Oh.
They didn't bite her. Jesse, I swear.
Holy shit.
Wow, they are changing some things up, huh? I was not
Yeah.
expecting Jesse.
Holy
And this entire
shit.
sequence is new, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys, fuck, get out of there.
Dude, you gotta fucking love Jesse.
Dude, Jesse's awesome. Shit.
Shit. Yep. Well, they know they're
Yeah,
here
they-
now.
Yeah.
They've lost the element of surprise.
The park! We can lose them in there! Come on!
What a badass, dude.
No, can you lose them in the park?
Whoa, 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 stop! We don't go in there.
You're kidding, right?
This is the park, heavily armed, not scars.
What are they doing?
Holding.
The fact that they're not going into the park tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Great, more infected.
Maybe. We can't go back that way.
They're gonna have to go right through it.
Jesse,
He came for them,
you
man.
find us.
The map you left in the theater. Impressive triangulation, by the way.
Thanks, that was old Dina.
Trust me, I didn't think it was you.
You came alone?
No, me and Tommy. We split up when we got to the city, cover more ground.
I can't believe they sent you after us.
They didn't, but you two were gonna die out here, so we snuck out the next night. It's a good thing we did.
You know what, we're doing pretty fucking good
Up until what?
Yeah. You weren't in the best of positions when he got there.
Yeah.
Until we weren't.
Yeah.
Is Tommy okay?
Hopefully.
Oh man.
Meet up with Tommy, and then we all go home.
No, Ellie.
They've been
Oh,
spotted.
yeah.
They've been spotted. Oh shit. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
communicating. What's that? Like all clear on this side. All clear on this side too, but we know you're in here.
Shit, dude. Sneaking past infected is one thing, but actual human beings?
Seraphites at that.
Yeah.
That hunt with bow and arrow.
Right.
Got pretty good aim.
Please, I'm not like the others. Please, I'll join you. I'll join. I can help you. I can help.
Oh.
For the corrupted soul knows only lies. So taught the prophets.
Oh, buddy. He's a goner.
Please, please. No. No.
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen next.
I mean, it's not going to be good. I can tell you that.
Free him, that he may know her love. No, please, no.
Oh, he's going to do it slowly too? Ah, no.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Disembowelment.
gnarly.
Now he is free.
Oh, shit.
You're kidding! Oh, shit!
Oh, no. They got her.
I'll leave them away. Get her out. Go! I'll meet you back
Get her out right now.
Go!
Dude, the shock, right?
Yeah.
You don't even
it's-
know that, like, I just got hit.
Right, you don't register the pain from the adrenaline just yet?
Get the hell out of there, guys.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude, this episode.
Holy-
Let's go. They are a menace. Also, the fact that all their weapons are silent, essentially, like
Yeah.
you can't hear where they're shooting you from. It's a huge tactical advantage.
Yeah.
May she guide us.
May she guide us.
I gotta say, I love how the tone changes every time the Seraphites are on screen.
There she is.
Good job.
It's funny because it encapsulates so well how the stealth works also in the games, right? Where you just hide long enough, they eventually kind of stop looking for you. They're still looking, but they go out to other places.
I don't like this one bit, man. They split up. Ellie.
Well, her middle name is crazy for a reason.
It's right
Yeah.
there. That's the hospital.
So much for going back, Ellie.
Nope. She's got one objective. Those dogs are going to sniff you right out.
Yeah.
There's no way. The tall grass.
Yeah. No way.
Not sure. Checking it out. Come on, Bonnie.
Oh my God. How the hell is she going to do this?
Nice.
It was a critter or something. All clear.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
She got away with it. She would have gone into that tent. She had a bunch of loot.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
There she is.
She just cleaning up those bandages so they...
I guess maybe
Put
to
that shit
reuse them.
down.
Yeah.
Hands up. Turn around.
Oh shit. Oh damn, it's...
I've been waiting for this.
She made it all the way here.
You remember me? Yeah, you remember me.
Verbatim.
Where's Abby?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
You shoot me, the sound will have every soldier come running.
You'll still be dead.
Yeah. Same consequence.
We could have killed you.
Maybe you should have. Or maybe you should have stayed the fuck out of Jackson, Nora.
Oh yeah, she knows who you are.
I'm sorry you saw it happen. No one should ever have to see something like that.
Stop it.
Sometimes I still hear his screams.
Oh damn.
It was a terrible thing, the way he died. Yeah. You the little bitch got what he deserved.
Oh yeah. Fuck her up.
Yeah.
Motherfucker!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intruder!
Fuck. Yeah.
Ah shit.
Oh shit.
Oh my God, yeah.
Shoot her!
Dude, the
Ellie,
way they're
careful.
capturing this chase scene is fucking amazing, dude.
Oh no.
That's the door we saw at the beginning, right?
yeah.
I assume.
Yeah, there's no way out, baby. Remember what they said.
Shit.
Only one access point. You've got nowhere to go.
What the hell is?
Ooh.
Oh shit! Oh, she's. Oh god.
Oh, that is ballsy.
Oh.
Oh, oh,
Oh god. Ah.
damn. Ouch.
Me too. Oh.
Oh man.
Oh.
Dude, this episode is insane. She's on her ass.
Mm-hmm. Don't you dare drop elevator.
Very careful, yeah. And the thing is, she's out of her element. She does not know this place.
Right. That is.
Is that dust?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
That is really bad growth.
Dude, look at all of that.
Oh my god, it's covered.
It's like infested everything, dude.
Holy shit, dude. Shout out to the set design.
Oh.
That is disgusting. It's all covered in fungus.
Dude.
Imagine the smell, guys.
Oh, dude, please don't. I'm not trying to imagine anything. Damn, dude, you see the bodies that are fused into the walls.
Yeah, they're part of it now.
Yeah.
They're just exhaling it.
This is so frightening to see.
It's in the air, all right. I'm so happy they're doing this, by the way. Now, where the hell is Nora? Like, yeah, she couldn't have made it that far.
Yeah.
Red lights.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, imagine that feeling, though, like...
Just clogging up like your throat, it's in your lungs.
Stupid bitch. Spores. We're breathing spores.
It looks like only one of you's.
You killed us both.
Oh, you don't know, huh? She's about to realize who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The immune girl, you're real.
Yeah. Where's Abby?
They were still doubting of her existence, huh?
Yeah.
Don't you know what he did?
I don't care.
He killed everyone in that hospital, including the only fucking person alive that can make a cure from you.
Damn.
That was Abby's father.
Yeah, now she knows the exact reason.
Joel shot him in the head. That's what he did.
I know.
She already knew.
She knows everything.
Yep.
I mean,
doesn't help
yeah,
your case.
no.
You're gonna go through a rough time there, Nora.
The shock on Nora's face is very powerful. Look at that.
Where's Abby? No.
She's resilient.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Where is she?
She's been very patient so far.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, yeah. Ow.
Where is she?
Dude, that's gotta feel like a bitch.
Oh! Damn, Ellie.
Oh.
Damn, that rage. Holy shit. We haven't seen that from Bella Ramsey until now. That was
fucking amazing.
I needed to see that. That was
the rage, but also the coldness.
There was nothing there.
Yeah, that's
she
not
was
Ellie
just
anymore.
Rage.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, kiddo.
Hi.
Oh man.
Fuck.
Reminding us of what we lost.
And of why we're here.
Man.
Damn. That was that reminder that we really needed, right? Coming from a purely emotional place that Ellie is at right now.
I love this episode, man.
Yeah.
Wow. This did not let off the gas a single minute, really. We had that really cool start where you see them like planning and stuff.
Right.
But as soon as they're out of that theater, it was back to back danger. I'm really liking what they're doing with this season. I did not like I said, the transitional episode we had.
Right.
But after that, like it really was eating your veggies before the dessert. And we've been getting really good episodes ever since. I really, really enjoyed this one. The tension, the action. We got, Ellie and Ellie, Dina, and now Jesse joining the crew, which is super cool. And apparently Tommy's already in town. It happened differently than what we were expecting. A lot of these sections were newer sections that were not in the game. The kind of homages to things that you do encounter in the game. So like the Stalker sequence, I was expecting that way later in the season, but we got it here.
Yes. They're changing some things up.
So some things, because this was essentially, for a lack of a better term, it was like them versus just only Stalkers as infected. And that's a very big moment in the game because Stalkers are this new evolved version of the infected that are quite hard to kill because they are smart and they're always flanking. So it was really cool to see that. And I love how they build up to it too. It wasn't immediately obvious, but then I was like, it's very quiet. I was half expecting to see a Stalker in the hallway somewhere behind them. I'm like,
I was always checking.
If there's an infected, the only kind of infected that could be in there and not make a sound yet, and still, despite the fact that they know that Ellie and Dina are in there, would be Stalkers. So I was just waiting. I'm like, okay, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? And then when they finally get into that open area and you see the first one, I was like, oh my god. Okay, it's one Stalker, they're screwed. And then you see 3 of them. Yeah. And then the camera pans and you see it's a whole squad of them. And you're like, oh my God. At that point, we really did not know what was going to happen. Anything could have happened. Given how much the show is changing things, I'm still at the edge of my seat. I'm like, I don't know if someone is going to die.
Right.
Like, I don't know if someone could, just outright die when they didn't die in the game in order to keep us at the edge of our seat. Because again, this sequence was not in the game. Dina was in severe danger. And I was really like, how the hell are they going to get away with this? Yeah. And then boom, in comes Jesse. And up until his reveal, I still did not know. I'm like, okay, because we knew that Jesse and, obviously Tommy's in town. We knew that had to happen at some point. Right. We were like, well, who is this? Out of the two, is it them? Is it the WLF? And then I was so glad to see Jesse, but I was also kind of
taken aback a bit.
Yeah, taken aback. I was like, I was not expecting to see you this early. This is cool though.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the thrill for us, right? That they're changing some things up in a way because
people think that we know everything that's going to happen, and that's really not the case with this adaptation. Just to be very clear, there's things that are like, okay, this is like 1-to-1, right? And then there's others where the show really does a 180 from what we expected. And
like it's a blueprint, but it's not like an exact instruction manual. You know what I mean? And I have to say, I did not know the whole sequence that we got with Ellie and Nora is one of my favorite moments in the game. Okay. It is one of those moments where you really see just how far Ellie is willing to go to, get her revenge, to find Abby. It is a little bit different in this. I feel like there's only one single thing that I wish they would have included, but
I was going to mention it, but we don't know if we're going to come back to that in the next episode.
So that's all I will say. Other than that, most of the lines were verbatim.
Yep.
I have to say, the actress playing Nora, Tati Gabrielle, I love her. I love the nuance that she brought to Nora. I really, really do. Like, you can tell that there is a bit of her that feels the weight of what they've done, but she even apologizes, right? She's like, I'm sorry you had to see that. But then she remembers what Joel did, and there's just no forgiving that for them. And then she switches up, and she's like, yeah, that little bitch got what he deserved. I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you're dead now. You're definitely dead.
That is it.
So I'm very happy with what we got in that sequence. I love it, and I think it was the moment that I was desperately waiting for. I don't want to speak for you, but I was desperately waiting for that moment where we get to actually see the turmoil that's going on inside of Ellie projected out, right? Because I feel like it seemed that Ellie was actually coping pretty well, considering, you know what I mean? She seems
well
upset.
adjusted.
Yeah, she seems very well adjusted
compared to the Ellie that we had in the games.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That was a very different mood and vibe in the game. So I was wondering how they're gonna make that switch up, and you see that she's kind of in this bliss with Dina, right? And she gets to, it's almost like a way of escapism for her. And then, you know, you start to see the domino stones falling when she first plays that song, and she can't finish it. And you see the switch, right? She remembers what she's here for. And that's when things start to get more real, right? And I have to commend them for how they've paced this whole thing, the way they managed to change some things up, but actually make it make sense in this. And damn, I mean, shit, we got Jesse, dude. We got Jesse already. I can't believe that.
Gotta love
that is nuts.
Jesse, man. He's a real one.
He really is a real one.
What a dude.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people already fell in love. Those of you who have not played the games, you've seen Jesse. You like him. He's a charismatic dude. He's an awesome dude, but he's also responsible, and clearly he cares a lot, and he cared more about them than following the rules, right? Because it says a lot that he's such a, stickler to the rules, and he's still here.
Yeah.
Right. So he's awesome, man. I love Jesse. Adding to what you were saying, I knew that this was a sequence that you were looking forward to, and I was excited to see you be excited for this, because it is a pretty big moment in the games, and I'm glad that you feel that they did justice.
Yes.
Because that means that other people out there that do find that moment quite impactful also hopefully feel the same way.
Yeah.
For me, hilariously enough, it was I had the same excitement, but for a sequence where I wanted to see Ellie and Dina realize what the Seraphites are.
Yes.
There's a very big sequence in the game where you essentially get shot by bows and arrows from every single direction, and in the game you really do not see where they're coming from. Essentially, it's really hard. And I remind me if I'm wrong, even with the listening mode, it's really hard to see some of them.
It's
because
very
the listening mode is basically in the game, you press a button and then everything gets quiet, and you can literally see the silhouettes through walls and through like heavy vegetation, and you can kind of see people through things, and that's how you know that they're there. That's what Dina is doing in the show. That's what they're alluding to when she's like counting. That's a little cool Easter egg. So in that moment in the game, you cannot see them. It's very faint, so it's really useless.
Yeah, like you have to get a lot closer.
Yeah, it adds a whole other layer of difficulty. But anyway, that's just game lore for you guys to know. But essentially, that first time where you have to go against them, it's really challenging, especially in the harder difficulties, because you barely have any ammo, and these motherfuckers, they're shooting at you with bow and arrows, essentially, and like you bleed out in the game, and it's a whole other thing. But
right,
essentially,
as long as you leave the arrow in, it causes damage over time.
Yeah, you literally have to pull it, especially in the hardest difficulty. It will just insta-kill you within 5 seconds if you don't pull it out. So it's like, it's really, really cool to see them here done justice.
Yeah.
I was like, they need to add that sense of where the hell are they?
Yeah.
And also the fear of, you do not know what they're saying. They're communicating. They could literally be like, yo, let's close in on them. They're right here, and you would not know because they're whistling. Right. And I love that little moment that we got there where you just hear the whistle back and forth, and you're just waiting, and the camera's just waiting there with them, and us as the audience, we're just holding our breath. I was like, this is what I was really hoping for, because this is the small scale of what hopefully will come, right? Because obviously they're introducing the Seraphites now. We've gotten bits and pieces of them, but they're obviously going to be a huge part of the story, and clearly, tonally at least, they are doing a great job with the Seraphites.
Absolutely.
They are setting them up. You know, they're a force to be reckoned with, enough to the point that even the WLF, with all their bells and whistles and technology, they're having a hard time just outright, killing all of them off.
Right.
And clearly there's an opposing force there that is strong enough for the WLF to be fearful. And that just tells us everything we need to know as the audience. It's like, this is going to be bad. It's not going to be as easy as I think maybe the WLF thought it would be at first. And even Dina and Ellie, I think even them, they're going to be quite impressed with what they're going up against, because it's not just evading WLF. They, Seraphites, they're pretty much going to shoot everything that moves if it's not one of theirs. So it's a very, very, very dangerous territory to be in.
Yeah, they just waded into a war without even knowing it,
They
right?
had no idea.
They're just stuck right in the middle of all of this.
Yep.
And the fact that this one thing, like, it's the communication that you can't pick up on, right, with the Seraphites that makes them so terrifying. But it's also the fact that, you have so much more range and so much more stealth when it comes to bows and arrows, right? And that's what makes it so scary. It's like the bow and arrow, in this episode, it literally shot up out of nowhere.
You couldn't see who shot Dina. Yeah. Like, you just got shot.
Yeah, she just got shot.
Yeah.
And that was such a great way to add the tension. And like the moments where they're, wading through the forest with the torches in their hands, the moment that we get to see a man being killed, being hung, essentially. So many moments that they actually got to capture from the games, and it just looks so stunning. Like the lighting, the trees, the leaves, the darkness, and everything. It's so beautiful, but it's so terrifying, because the thing is, like, it's an advantage for you as a person for you to be able to hide. But guess what? You're not the only one that can use that to their advantage, And the way that they built the tension all around that, I think, was wonderful. Like, so many of the moments here, like the sets that they were able to create or the locations they were able to find, really brought the game to life. And and it's so cool to get to explore it in that way. And there's a lot that I would love to say that I cannot say right now, but just seeing how they're going thus far, I'm very curious to see how the next couple episodes are going to go.
Dude.
Because it's so far so good. Like episode 3 was just that thing that we needed, and these past episodes really were that speed bump that we were aiming towards, just so we can get to the emotional but also physical toll of how the story kind of develops, right? And I have to say, this episode killed it, dude. Like the Stalker moment as well. When you just see them, because like at first you said, oh, like I saw 2, and I'm like, no, there's 3. I saw another one, and I bet like when we go back and watch it, we're gonna see even more of them, just like lingering somewhere in the background. That just
corner out there in the shadows.
Yeah, and like that's the fear, and I love that they introduced the Stalker earlier, so now that we know this is dangerous. This is not just your runners that will literally straight up come in and attack you. These are smarter than that.
Yeah, potentially worse than a horde even.
I
just
think
because
so.
the nature of it, right? Like they know enough to know when you are weak and when you don't have a sight of like a straight view of the location, right? And they obviously take advantage. They know when you're looking towards a certain direction. They know how to distract you, and they work together to really like make noise over here while somebody flanks you from behind. And that's the terrifying part of it. Like the way they strategize is pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm glad you like that moment too. That was a pretty cool thing to see. And I gotta say, out of all episodes, I think this one also did a really good job with the aesthetic. I think this is the closest one, like you were mentioning all these things, and I do agree. It was the closest one to what we see in the video game.
Yeah.
Like color wise, palette wise, even little, details like the red light. As soon as that came on, I'm like, all right, you know what time it is. Nora's getting beat. She's gonna get the shit beat out of her.
Yeah, she's gonna get her ass beat. Oh my God.
Yeah, I like those little moments, and they know. I like that they know, because with the Joel episode, they almost made the golf club like its own character.
Yes.
Like the way that they lingered on it, and it was in the shot, and those who knew were already covering their faces. Those who didn't could feel their heart sink a little bit. And with this, they did the same thing. Like the camera just pans and they linger on that pipe, and everybody that knows, we're like, oh shit, here we go. Cool. So yeah, they clearly know what the audience expects, and the people that played the game, they know what we expect. And I love how they're playing with us. There's things here where they know they're going to catch us off guard, like the Jesse thing. And I'm just kind of scared about what else could they be, changing to the point where I honestly don't know who's going to make it out. So that level of distress that you feel as an audience is not lost upon us.
Right, especially because they are introducing new characters as well that we kind of tend to stick with. Who's to say that that's not going to come up in another shape or form? We're also very much in the dark in some ways. Yeah.
If they,
dude,
if they
you never
choose
know.
to like 180 us. And
I mean, you never know. Like, this is their story. As long as it's a good one, and as long as it, pays respects to the game and to the story, I'm here for the ride. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. One thing that I've noticed is that we also have to be patient, right? Like they make these changes, but we have to wait for the next episode and the one after that. We have to kind of wait and just let the story do its thing before we jump down their throats and start making assumptions about certain changes that we assume that they've made and they possibly haven't. But man, like
Yeah, because right now in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, well, they changed this. Does this mean that this other thing is not going to happen anymore?
Right, yeah.
And I'm really hoping there's a pretty big thing that I'm
For both
hoping
of us.
I'm hoping they have not taken out. But at the same time, I know it would be, you know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
you guys know what I'm talking about.
the
You
ones
guys
that played
know.
the game, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of hoping they did not take that out because I don't think it would have been that expensive to do. But at the same
No.
time, if they're saving budget for a big finale, I would understand completely
Right.
why they would have to do that.
Right.
Nonetheless, I think this was a phenomenal episode. I mean,
Yeah.
horrific. It added the tension. You hear about this. We got the spores. We can
I
finally talk
know.
about spores.
Finally. I was like,
well, I think we probably had this conversation during season 1 where we
Yes.
probably were like, oh, in the games there were spores. We don't understand why they're doing tendrils now. That was
Right.
kind of like a big point of criticism. Not criticism, but something that we weren't really.
It was a bit of
we
a what
weren't
the fuck.
loving it. You know, it was like,
Yeah.
well, why is it tendrils in this version?
right,
Why is that? Like, why would they make that change?
right.
And then us talking off camera was like, well, maybe it's because, you know, it would have been very hard to explain how did
Right.
so many people survive going inside these buildings without like a gas mask or something like
Right.
that when they're not that easy to find. And they never really quite explained it, and like the creators didn't really explain or address why they weren't included in the first season as far as I know.
Not that I remember.
But now that they're
honestly.
here, they were definitely like announcing it from what I can recall. They were like, yeah, they were kind of teasing it. They're like, yeah, there's a little something in this season that you're going to see that, you know, players of the games are going to be so excited that we actually included this season. And we kind of waited and
Yeah.
we wanted to see what it was. And like, now, okay, cool.
Because I
Having the spores
remember when we first realized that spores were not a thing in the first season, the first thing we talked about was how are they going to do that scene with Nora?
Yeah,
right?
actually. Yeah. How the
Because-
hell is Nora going to be like, you
'Cause,
know,
like-
pretty much getting infected while Ellie is talking to her? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like that was the question.
Mhm.
And that's also another reason why I was very much looking forward to how they were going to do this. And the fact that we get spores and like that whole moment all at the same time, I thought was a great choice. And you know, you see the violence, right? You see the different kinds of violence in this, right? You see how the cordyceps is just like consuming and almost like feeding off of the other infected, but then they're kind of also becoming part of like the growths on the wall.
It's disgusting.
It's
It's terrifying to think that could be
invasive.
you. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like that was a person.
Yeah, that was a person.
Yeah.
And they were still in there for a little bit, you know, while they weren't infected. So like,
Oh yeah,
just
I don't know if people that have not played the games are aware of that.
Right.
Like when you're
So-
infected, you're infected. You're not like a zombie. You're
Yeah.
still sort of there, which is
Yeah.
haunting for the first couple of months. I think it was for the timeline. While you're a runner, even
yeah.
there's moments in the game where you can hear runners literally cry as
Well-
they're eating other people.
Yeah.
Right. Like think about a zombie, right? So like as they're festering
Mm-hmm.
on another body or something like that, you're hearing the runner cry. And we were always curious. So we dug up into the more expanded lore and what the creators had said about it. And apparently it's because
Yeah.
literally the person is still there and they
Yeah.
can't control what the body is doing. So imagine you being in like something controlling your body and you're being puppeteered to do
Yeah.
this horrific event, but you are still there. So they're literally crying as they're doing this. And that's just it adds such a wonderful layer of
Yeah.
horror to it. Like they don't want to do it, yet they're being
Yeah.
forced by this thing to do it. And
Yeah.
that's just so damn scary.
Well, it just shows you how the cordyceps works, right? I love
Yeah.
that you said puppeteer. That was
Yeah,
like
that's
such a perfect word
literally
because
it.
that's literally exactly what it's doing. And I think, you know, in these like in the moments that we're getting with the infected, I think they've done such a great job of showing us like how they come in different shapes and sizes, right? Different kinds of infected, and their approach is different. Like you said, like with runners or with stalkers. I'm loving the look, dude. Especially that moment with the stalkers when they're just like perched up on the boxes and stuff. Like just the visual, the way that they were able to create horror in particular in this one felt very much like the game. Because the thing is like, obviously the game is a survival horror game, right? So this actually captured that feeling where you don't know where they could be popping up from,
Yeah.
right? You don't know what you're walking into when you walk into a new building, right? And they captured that feeling. That essence is 100% in there. And like, that's the highest compliment that I can think of because like this really made me feel like when we were playing the game and we had no clue what was going to happen.
Yeah, they did a great job at recreating that. And that's not easy when you're doing an adaptation. And like I said, I think this episode absolutely nailed it. For those, who haven't played the game, I can imagine how exhilarating it is to, get to feel this, but like also know that it's very like tonally very one-to-one to what the video game did. Even though the events are not exactly the same, it conveys the same kind of emotion. Right. So you guys are really not missing out on the experience we had. If anything, it's a bit more consolidated and a bit more, I guess, efficient with its storytelling because you don't have the whole element of gameplay and going around places and looting. You can kind of just get to the meat and potatoes of it. So yeah, great job with this one, man. I'm excited for the next episode. Have no idea what the hell we're going to do in the next episode. I mean, I wonder if we're going to catch up where we left off with Ellie. Also there, I like how they gave us a bit of lore with the hospital. Of course, hospitals would be the one place that would be kind of iffy, especially after the, once the infection spread and people knew what the hell was going on. And then we get a little bit of lore about this specific hospital where they're like, yeah, there's a couple infected here that were like taken here first or whatever. And like, I like how they are, mentioning these things that would happen in the real world, right? If this kind of big pandemic were to happen, obviously out of all places, the hospital would probably be the one with, the most amount of infected, right? Or something like that. So I like that they at least address it. Like there should be infected there, but there's none. And like, they are like, what the hell? Why is there none? It's squeaky clean. And I like that level of, how they're pondering that question. And then you get the introduction to the spores and like that floor where it's just covered and it's everywhere. And you're like, oh, there it is. Yeah. And I like also the parallel of basically building this fortress of a door to prevent something from anything from coming out of there and then having something like spores. Yeah. It's like
that's the
you have the wrong
joke.
Air vent and you're screwed essentially.
Well, I mean, that's the cordyceps, right? It adapts.
Yeah.
It finds different ways to grow and fester. And it's just, my God, man, like.
Yeah, man.
Now that I'm thinking about it, some of the infected that we saw, like, they're not that old when you think about it, right?
I don't think they've addressed the whole timeline thing.
Oh, yeah,
they?
That's true. I can't remember.
I can't recall because like we've seen clickers, we've seen runners, we've seen a plethora and bloaters, and I think maybe perhaps in season 1 we just don't remember because it's been a while. Maybe when the bloater shows up, they're like, oh yeah, that's what it looks like when they've been infected for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's spoilery to mention that. I think it's a clear transition of how the cordyceps evolves.
Right.
So we've seen the worst of the worst, which is the bloater.
Yeah.
And that thing is like an armored tank cordyceps type of
essentially.
Thing.
Fucking terrifying.
So yeah, I like that they've kind of sort of addressed it, but I would like for them to dive a little bit deeper as to how the timeline works for their sake. For,
exactly.
The audience sake who has not played, for them to kind of have a clear idea. Okay, this person has been infected for X amount of years.
Right.
This is really bad.
And this is what happens when you've been infected for this much time, right? Because
they're gonna have to at some point.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I can see them doing that just because they're taking these moments that obviously were not in the game, like the soldier mom that sent her son. See, that was fantastic, beautifully written, and the fact that it was her son that she ended up having to seal down there, and that was the reveal at the end of that scene. Fucking genius, dude. I love that they did that. It's an emotional impact where we understand where these people are coming from and like the choices that they have to make and the losses that they have to endure and all of that stuff, but it also helps amplify the horror. So I would love it if at some point, they can kind of explain the timeline of infection, right?
Yeah.
Because like they did mention how long it takes for you to get infected based on where you're bitten. Like,
but
that
like
does
that's just
happen
like
in
a
the first
runner,
season, but like
a basic infected. But
it's
not
just like when you officially turn, right? But like there's still a lot to be explored.
So much.
Some of the things are like very much hinted at in the games, and I really hope, like, for you guys' sake, like for their sake, the ones that have not played the games, that don't know the lore, I hope that they do acknowledge certain things that are being breezed by in the games, and then hopefully we also get an elaboration on the lore that they probably were not able to fit into the game.
I agree. I would like to learn more of how the infected work, because we love lore, and I always think it's interesting to build upon a world like they've been doing.
Yeah,
and they've done a great job already at like building the foundations of it.
Yeah.
But given that they're in constant evolution with it as well, like we got Stalkers this season, now Spores.
Yeah.
I want them to explain what we've seen.
Yes.
And what does it mean?
Right.
Not just visually, because like visuals are cool, but how bad is this?
Yes.
Right. Because I feel like knowing or having a timeline of how long they've been in a building, at least you know that these were people that got infected X amount of years ago at this point.
Right.
And you know what this episode did that we've always talked about when we talk about things that we like about The Last of Us? It's how it brought back the you're not safe in the buildings, you're probably safer outside type of mentality. And you see how even when they're outside, they're being hunted by Seraphites and WLF, and still you feel like they're safer out there, that like they have a better shot out there than when you're inside a building. We were literally talking about that as they're entering the building. Lo and behold, it happened exactly as we were referencing that, because it's true. You do not know what you're going to encounter in each building. There's infected there could be there. You don't know which kinds of infected there are. Clickers are lethal as hell. You cannot make a single noise.
They're
Clearly
tough.
Stalkers will hunt you down. Runners are probably the easiest to get rid of, and even then it's still quite a tough situation to manage.
Right, like you can't get caught so that they overrun you, which is what we saw happen to Ellie. Right, she ended up getting overrun because like they mentioned that also in season 1 multiple times. They're like, hey, you might be immune to infection, but you're not immune to being torn apart.
Exactly, getting mangled.
That's exactly because
runners.
there's so many. Of course, she's gonna get overwhelmed. This is nothing about like your badassery or anything like that. This is just like there's so many of them.
When she mentioned, "Oh, I can get bit multiple times," I was like, you better be careful what you wish for, because like these things are quite strong as well.
Right. The thing is, like, yes, you might be bitten, but like it's important also where you get bitten. Right. One solid bite to the neck, and like that's it.
Oh yeah, true.
You know,
you're still mortal.
Yeah, like exactly. So it's like it's not a superpower, but it was an important moment for it to kind of also rattle her awake. You know. But,
I think it was needed for her character. I think she has this sense of like she's kind of high on this, invulnerability, to the point that she's not really like, she is considering the danger to others, but I don't think she's considering the danger to herself.
No,
and
not at all.
I feel like I want her to snap out of that quickly, because like we're saying, like she could still very easily die with any
be
wrong
torn apart.
move. Yeah.
Very much so.
Very curious to see how she's going to make it out of the hospital, though, because like clearly people heard her shots and people know that she's in there. I mean, they're not going to come down there.
No, they're not.
That's for sure. She's kind of safe as far as as long as she stays down there.
The one person that could be safe all the way down there, if you think about it, with her immunity and all. And it's like, I would love to see how she gets out of there, actually, because I don't think they even acknowledge that in the games. I think she just goes back up at the theater.
Yeah, well, they could do that too.
They should do something fun with that, though.
Cut to black, and then she's out the hospital.
No, instead they stabbed us in the heart with a Joel flashback.
Right. I can understand from an emotional perspective what that was about, but I wonder if we're gonna get more. I want to see more of Pedro Pascal's Joel in the story here, sprinkled somehow, just to give us that sense of loss, just to really
Well, I mean, that was the purpose of that. I think it's also because we watch Ellie essentially do to someone what was done to Joel, right? Torturing them essentially, which is what she did. And there are going to be some people who are going to feel conflicted. I know, because I felt conflicted, because she did call Joel a bitch and said he deserved it. So like, shit, you don't get to say that. There's that moment where you're like, fuck, like, is this right? Like what we're doing?
Also, Ellie knew.
Oh yeah, they acknowledged that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she outright just said, yeah, I know.
Yeah, she says, yeah, I know, that's true.
When Nora's like telling her all about the stuff that Joel did, and in a way to kind of, I guess, earn Ellie, to be like, the voice of reason, and be like, oh yeah, you're right, that's kind of messed up. She was like, yeah, I know. And that was it.
Damn. Yeah.
I like that. I like that they finally acknowledged that. That was a big question that was left up in the air in the previous season. And this season is like, this episode confirms that she knew. That last look that she gave Joel, she knew something was up. She knew something happened. And clearly that separation that we've heard of and saw in episode 1, there was a reasoning behind it. And we always assumed, okay, it has to be that.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people in the comment section were like, yeah, it has to be that. Right. She feels like he's lying to her, which he is.
Right.
He never told her the full story. So I'm glad that they confirmed that.
Yeah. There's like it's a slight confirmation there. It is addressing that whole situation. Right.
We need to see to what extent.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Because she said, I know, but Nora could also be lying for all she knows. So how much do you know?
Right.
I think now that's the question that needs to be answered.
Yeah, precisely. And I think, after that, the coldness that we witnessed in Ellie, I think the fact that they added the Joel flashback immediately after is like, no. You don't get to be conflicted. This is how you're supposed to feel.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we're doing it. I'm like, oh, okay, show. I see what you're doing. I think it's smart. Like, I like that they remembered in this episode that Ellie's not okay. And we get to see it. She's not okay. She might be fine in some moments, but she's not fine. And I think that's very important to remember, especially for her journey.
I think it was also very important to show us that not even Dina can pull her out of this.
Yeah.
Right? Because in the previous episode, it almost felt like God. Like Dina seems to have, definitely ways with Ellie where she might just be able to convince her to not do this. And then to reinforce that Dina's like, no, not only is she not saying, hey, let's go back home. She's like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Up until Jesse comes along. And now Dina's like, well, shit. Jesse's in town.
Right.
Tommy's in town. Things changed. Now it's not just us two. And she switched back. It almost seemed like she was about to say, hey, let's maybe not do this. Maybe let's prepare a little bit more, especially after she just got shot in the leg. Regardless, Jesse made it there and things changed. So it did seem like in the previous episode, like Dina might just be able to convince her to not. But in this one, she was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. And then in this episode, we see Ellie just outright leave them to pursue what she needs to do.
Right. She said she's going to leave them at the theater. She sees the sign and then that's it, right? The hospital is like right there.
Yeah.
And
I like that though. We needed to see that Ellie could be independent enough to take on Nora, because that was one of the things that we were
worried about
off camera. We turned off the camera after the previous episode and she was like, how the hell is Ellie going to do the whole Nora thing with Dina right there?
Right.
Tonally, it just doesn't feel like Dina would allow it or be okay with it or not say anything. So it was a smart choice. It was a very smart choice to kind of separate them. Dina's going to be pissed. I know that much. She's going to be like, what the hell? Where have you been?
You
Why
just
would
went
you
by
leave
yourself.
us? Yeah, that's going to create some tension amongst the group, which I'm excited for. That creates more drama, more juice.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we also have Jesse in the mix now and Tommy is somewhere out there. Oh, yeah, the drama.
Pregnant.
And she is preggers. She is preggers.
What's going to happen there?
Ellie and Dina are an item now, so...
All three of them are going to be parents now,
Yes,
apparently.
they're all going to be parents.
It's going to be very interesting, man. I'm very excited to see where they take the story. I am fully confident now with how they're aiming to end the season. I'm excited to see that go down. I'm excited for the next episode. I think the next episode will kind of give us a clear idea because this was episode 5. We only have
2 more.
Pre-season finale and the season finale. And that is it until 2 years from now, which is going to suck.
Yeah, it's going to fucking suck.
But I'll tell you this.
Especially if they end it the way we think they're going to end it.
I mean, I think it's no surprise to those watching. It's probably going to be a cliffhanger given the fact that there is a season 3 coming.
I mean, yeah, of course.
It's got to be.
How it usually goes.
That's how HBO keeps those subscriptions up. You know what I'm saying? So clearly, but I want enough to be resolved in this season. And I think we're going to get enough resolved in this season for people to feel satisfied with the story.
Yeah.
So narratively speaking, I think it's very rich in terms of the characters' arcs that we're seeing. And I'm very happy with the amount of moments and energy they've poured into layering the characters and making them feel organic enough and making the relationships feel real.
Yeah.
I thought at first, I think they kind of rushed the Dina Ellie thing. I do think that came kind of
out of left field
a little. I mean, I was expecting the attraction part of it, but just the commitment level was like, holy shit, these are ride or dies, but it had to happen. I understand why they kind of need to, they got to keep the ball rolling. But in this episode, I liked how they gave us those little moments where it's like, oh, they do really feel like more than just friends. They feel like they care for each other.
Yeah, I think, they did take some time to flesh out those sweet moments that they do get together. And again, it's so important to give us that baseline so we get to see where Ellie ends up in her journey, where Dina ends up on her end of the situation. So like it's important for us to see the dynamic, right? Otherwise everything is just way too much one note. Yeah. Especially considering how heavy the story itself is, right? And it's a revenge quest. Like we're not going to be here, watching unicorns. It's so like it's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit darker. So the fact that they give us the variations of emotions that they're going through, I think just really helps finalize the status of their relationship.
Absolutely.
Now. Like no longer a situationship, but an actual relationship. So shit, man, I'm worried about next episode.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm excited. I like these little twists they're adding here to kind of keep us on the edge. I do not know what's going to happen now next episode, and I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Because not knowing is kind of fun too. So very excited for this. This was a wonderful episode. I think it's up there. One of my this season is just, it's been a lot of bangers, and I'm very, very happy because I did not know how much I was going to enjoy it, because this game is quite a complex story to tell. But so far they're doing a pretty good job, man. So, people that actually like the game, because I know there's a lot of discourse on that too. A lot of people that love it, a lot of people that hate it. It's very divisive. Yeah. But the people that land on the side where they love the game, I think they must be extremely happy with what they're doing. So yeah, I'm thrilled, man. Next episode is going to be a banger. I'm hoping, it's the preseason finale. Get it right, get the finale right, and we got a golden season. So yeah, man, very, very thrilled, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you guys enjoyed, and as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.
See ya.